This is a bit weird, isn't it? Right now, got my laptop open. I'm staring at a little camera at the top of the screen there, looking at you. I'm here seeking to share something of meaning and something that can make a difference to you. But it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like I'm in my front room, which is kind of my homemade office here. I've just got a computer open and I've decided I've got something to say. And suddenly, Nathan, hey man, suddenly there's a person there. But I can't see you, right? I can't see your eyes. I can't see what you're doing. I can't see if you care what I'm saying. So it's all a bit weird. And now I've done, over the years, past 5-6 years, thousands of videos, most of them pre-recorded because the live videos are a more recent thing, but I've done a fair chunk of live videos too. But after all these thousands of videos, when I come to do one of my live videos, like my Superhuman Life Coach Live, right? Before that was Becoming Superhuman. Now it's Superhuman Life Coach Live as I work with more coaches. And it's preparing these videos, it's not easy. You know, it's even like the lighting, right? The light is terrible today, right? It's quite dark out. So when it comes to lighting for a video, it's like I've been in the dark, like I'm in a cave or something. So I have to get lighting and put lighting there. I've chosen to use my laptop as opposed to my phone for a change, and it means I've got this giant picture of me there underneath, which I can see myself moving every now and then, which is a bit distracting. And I mean, why can't I do it? Well, I don't need to see myself, right? There's no need. I suppose for framing it's useful, but it's a distraction. This whole thing is a bit weird. Wonderful. I mean, it's a very wonderful thing. You know, we get to be able to at any point turn on this, and you know, even if people don't see it live, people are going to view it. It doesn't matter how many. There are going to be people that view it. It's going to be of value to someone. And there's a potential that someone will go, do you know what? I like what you're saying. Maybe I could look at becoming a client, right? It's amazing. It's like a miracle, really, isn't it? When you think about it, you go back 10, 15 years, how would we have been able to communicate with people who might want to work with us? How could we share? No, who give a crap, right? In fact, like one of my coaches, he's been doing this for 20 years, roughly. And the amount of expenses they needed. Oh, thank you for the likes and loves, by the way. The amount of expenses they needed to be able to get the camera to then develop it. And where would they put it, right? Before YouTube, for instance, right? Where the hell could they put a video? It's like there was nowhere to, you couldn't just pop it online, upload it, especially when you used to have the very slow, crackly uploads, right? How would they do it? They needed to pay a very expensive platform, which meant it was only for a select few people, right? It's amazing. Thank you for the likes, by the way. It's very nice. Not being able to see your eyes, it is nice to have some kind of interaction to know that you're there. Thank you very much. Because this is the thing, right? I've done hundreds of talks. Public speaking is easy compared to this. Because this, I've got my dogs in the room. They're sleeping at the moment. I'll get some reaction out of them if someone makes a noise at the front. There'll be a big bark going on. Then I know something's happened. But staring at this camera, talking to you, I've got no idea. I have to guess, and I have to share things that matter, and I have to try and stay focused. And the reason why I'm talking about this, by the way, the reason why this came up is because I was training coaches yesterday, and during that we were talking about how to share valuable content that draws the right kind of people to them. That's what we were talking about. And they're all having challenges with sharing content, like creating videos, writing posts. There's some kind of fear getting in the way, and we were talking about what that is. And so one of the things that comes up that I know for myself, and that with many coaches I've worked with, it's something that's missing, is a bridging post. Angela, hello, welcome. I'm sharing actually the insight from our call, actually, from what we talked about, because it's very important. So one of the things that's missing for a lot of coaches is a bridging post. What I call a bridging post, I've just made that up, by the way. I don't know what the proper name is, but it's when you've done lots of training as a coach, where you've been through whatever it may be, and you go, I'm going to be a coach now. And then people start talking as if they're coaches, because a lot of the time they learn how to do marketing and stuff. They go like, how do you set up a coaching business? Well, you need a Facebook page, you need a niche, and all these things. And so they prepare them, right? They put them up, and it's like, hey, I'm a coach now. And if anyone was to meet them for the first time and look back, they'll go, hang on a second, who were you? You're talking about like your dogs and, you know, your ice cream that you liked and the dinner you went to and the holidays you've been on. And now you're talking about being a coach. Well, hang on, how did that happen? there's something missing here. And it's a weird thing, but it's not just in the person who finds the coach that's the problem. It's a problem for the coach too, because it's a lot of pressure. You know, I call it a shock front of pressure. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm a coach now. Yeah, I've not actually coached anyone or got any money from anyone, or you know, nothing's happened. I'm still working. But don't tell anyone. I'm a coach. And then they start talking, writing posts, trying to be a coach, and it's like, it creates a lot of pressure that doesn't need to be there. You know, so it's a waste of pressure. So what I suggest is to create a bridging post to go, hey, I've been doing all this thing. This is what's changed in my life. This is what I'm doing in my career, whatever it is at the moment, and I want to be a coach. Or if you're a coach now and you've been doing it for a bit, it's like, well, where are you? What have you been doing? What's your evidence you've created so far that's worked? What's failed? And all this kind of stuff. Just share the bridge of how you got from there to here. Share it so it makes sense. So that if in 6 months from now, someone finds you for the first time who goes, oh, I like what you're sharing. It's interesting. Let me scroll back and see. They can see a life that makes sense. You know, I shared this to someone else the other day, actually. I kind of did it in an extreme way. So I do not recommend this, but it is what I did. Is like, go back 5-6 years, I was sharing like the deepest pain I was going through at times when some bad stuff was going on. And I just shared the deepest pain. I mean, you can see it's still there, right? You scroll back, it's still there. And it's horrific to watch them because it's not good videos or anything. And I wouldn't recommend it for advertising purposes. However, it makes sense, you know, and you can see you may actually change. You can actually see me changing through those videos, through those posts. So I've had clients scroll through, see those things, and then go, it makes sense how you're doing what you're doing, what you've changed personally and professionally. I can see the journey. It makes perfect sense, right? So anyway, I was sharing this with the coaches, like create your own version of that. And normally a written post is best because you can articulate more, you can get more detailed, it's faster for people to read as well. And also you can see, did I include everything I needed to? Did I miss anything? You know, so written posts are great for that, to be able to edit. So I recommend a good bridging post. So I was sharing this and it was cool. And they're going to go away and do different things depending on what their own, what their next step is. And then it occurred to me when it comes to my videos, they're not good enough. You know, if you look at my Superhuman Life Coach Live, there's good facts in there, good content, stuff that can actually make a difference. And I've actually had coaches tell me the value it is, like how they're using it. So it's very cool. There's good stuff. But there's something missing in the spark of energy. And that is not speaking to the weirdness of this, which is me staring at like a camera at the top of my laptop right now in my home, on my own, imagining I'm talking to you. Luckily, I can see a few people pop up. I mean, you know, Nathan, Angela, Stacey, Donna, Omkar, Joe, James, and other people are popping in, right? Hey man. And it's like, but apart from that, and unless there's a direct comment or like or interaction, I've got no idea what's going on. And it's messing me up. It's messing up my ability to give something of deep value. Oh yeah, there's another thing. Oh, let me just let you into a window of other things that screw me out, right? So one of your videos, James, actually, because James Lavers is one of my coaches and he teaches how to be on camera and this kind of thing. And one of the things is, like, they talk about the fact that, if you know, how small we are, right? People are scrolling through their phones with this tiny little picture. And so it's good to be animated. Now, he says to do it in a way that has integrity, right? The problem is, though, once you try and bring your awareness to it, it means you end up like sometimes in my videos, if you look back, right, sometimes I'm like putting my hands in weird places because my brain's gone, I need to be showing my hands now. So you can see I'm actually not doing it deliberately now, it just is happening. But it's like a way of getting in the way. Whereas it's like, I want to burn all that shit out. Excuse my language. I want to get rid of all that. So that's what this is for. This is my own bridging video post. To go, I just want to speak directly and to get rid of all the crap around it. Maybe just get some decent lighting so you can see my face and speak directly and share some stuff and see what emerges. Because when I look back at my videos, there's a gap between the depth of experience, expertise that I actually have and that I do when I'm in my groups, when I'm with my clients, right? When I've got my groups together, it's amazing. I'm on fire. I love it because I'm getting their interaction, right? I get to coach, which is what I love to do. I get to see the impact. I don't get to see it here so much. And thank you for the loves, by the way. Thank you very much. And so what I want to do is to be able to somehow translate that to video. And so this is a calling myself out post. It is a letting things emerge in whatever it needs to emerge way of speaking. And I want it to be a beginning of a transformation in the way I communicate through video, so that I get rid of any of that, purge it out. So this is the beginning to that. So what else? I wrote down, I always write a few notes because it's good to keep on track. I think I've included actually most important thing. So stop getting rid of the need to perform. And so this goes for you, right? If you do videos for your business, because I'll share this actually, because I was talking to someone today about it. It's come up with a few times in the past week actually. As coaches, we are in an amazing time. We get to just mess about in the early stages of our career. Mess around really with just creating posts, thinking, I've got this idea, let me talk about that. I know this person's walking down the street with a bag on her back. That reminds me of a time when, right? And you end up coming up with an insight, right? And we get to share that. We get to go, I was on my climbing frame yesterday and almost fell off. And and you get to talk about our lives essentially, and just talk about everything that's happening. We talk about the work we're doing with clients, but we get to just use, you just mess about really and try stuff out. Through the interaction of how people respond, we then get to see what actually matters, what people like. And then as long as what we're doing and what people like, we like to keep doing, then that becomes something we do more of. And over time, we'll figure out this way of working works and brings my ideal clients to me. This way doesn't. And we get to just mess about really. So because this comes up with one of the coaches, she said to me how she's not sure she wants to be a coach, and this happens a lot. And I'm like, and I say this right, because coaching can be anything. You could have a coaching business where you only work for 3 months of the year, and you work during intensive retreat experiences, and you spend 9 months filling those spaces, and you're making hundreds of thousands per year by doing that. That could be a model of a coaching business that some people do, right? So you could do that. It could literally be anything. You want to go on holiday to Australia, right? You create a coaching package in Australia where you do deep work with people, but you also stay there longer so you can have a holiday with your family, right? So literally it can be anything. As long as you're doing deep work and it matters to people, real transformations occurring, how you do it can be any way you want. So when someone says they don't want to be a coach and spend years training, I go to this. What if you had 100 people right now who you love to spend time with, who are interesting, who've got these beautiful dreams, and you just want support creating them, and they're lining up to pay you £50,000 each? Are you saying that you would say, no, I'm going to go work at that job, or I'm going to do something else? Are you really saying that? Or are you saying what you really don't like is all this stuff in between that is in the way of this and that? Is that what's really going on? The truth is, for most of us, the thing is, we don't like the videos, the written posts, where are the clients, and all this stuff. And so a lot of us too soon will try and outsource it, try and learn marketing and stuff, get people to do ads and all this kind of thing. And it ain't gonna work, I'm afraid. It won't work. I've messed about with that stuff, and there's not a single coach I know who has started from scratch and created a successful business without doing this hard work. This hard work, again, this isn't hard work, right? We're not breaking our backs by like a pickaxe into a wall. We are making stuff up. We are doing things that are scary. We are stepping forward as leaders. We are saying, this can help you. And we are getting people going, no, it can't. And we have to interact with that. So we're being challenged as leaders. We're being challenged as coaches and our expertise continuously. So it's scary. It's challenging in that way, having that, stepping into that world. It's hard in that sense. But it's not hard work. Let's not get carried away. It's back. When you think about it, 60, 70 years ago, factory work would have been the normal way, right? Like people doing actual hard labor jobs would have been more normal than what it is now. The kind of work we have now is much lighter work. So it isn't hard work, but it is challenging work, and it is thinking work, and it is emotionally challenging work. But we get to mess about. We get to do things we like. We get to spend time with amazing people, creating deep, transformative results with them. And this is what we get to do. And we just get to get better at it. The hard part is there's no specific prescription for how to do it. We have to find our own way. There can be some basic frameworks like this. There's some basic things I recommend we do. There's a process to it, sure, that I know, and other people have their own ideas, but I've got my own way. That seems to be working pretty well. But even within that framework, you have to figure out your own voice, your own way of sharing, the things that are interesting to you, the way you want to work with clients, who you want to work with. You cannot be given that. You have to figure that stuff out. And so when it comes to this kind of thing, it's like the first stage of sharing needs and building a successful way of communicating your expertise that actually brings clients to you, which I call the gravitational presence, right? Which means wherever you are, people kind of go, they pay attention, and some of those people will be ideal clients for you. How do you create that? You have to go through the pain of just sharing stuff that feels right to you. Just share it, see what his response is, have interactions, have disagreements. You've got to go through that process of pouring it out of you, because it will sound crap. You'll say stuff that sounds good in your head and it doesn't sound good when you say it out loud. But we have to pour this out and emerge through this. And then you get to refine it and make it better as you go. Like through this initial outpouring, for instance, you'll get the occasional post that just people, it's like you get an amazing response from. You'll get people sharing it, you get people like messaging and saying how valuable it was. And then what you do is you look at it and you go, what was it about that? Maybe you ask people as well. I recommend when people say to you, that was great, say, what was great? Because you need to know, because otherwise how can you replicate it if you don't know? So find out from people what they liked about it and then put it together into a more refined version of that post. And that can become like a pillar of content for your business that you can use potentially for a very long period of time, and a framework for the kind of thing to use repeatedly. So you have to be in it though. You have to be inside of it. And so you can't escape that bit. Excuse me, my voice is going. So I think that's a sign from my deeper sense that I need to, this is enough. Hopefully this has been of service to you. It's definitely been of service to me. I've felt the difference, right? I can feel a more natural flow already. So I want to continue this in future videos of whatever I'm sharing. I want to burn out the need for it to be anything. Stop trying to perform it to be special, and just share something of value and meaning that occurs to me is from the heart for you. So yeah, I think that's good. Thank you for being here. Although it wasn't named it, this is a Superhuman Life Coach Live because that's what my focus is. Thank you very much for being here. And I look forward for you being on the next one and interacting with me. Thank you so much. Take care.